Good evening. Let's talk. It's Monday night, and every Monday night we go over our show reviews. And right now we're in episode 9 of Power Book 4 Force, do the review show. And Dwayne's not here right now. He might join us, he might not. Myself and Keisha are going to do the review show with you guys. And after a week off, Power came back, and actually last week the episode was leaked early, so a lot of people got a chance to see the episode early. Me myself, I looked for it and didn't find it, which was interesting. But I saw a lot of clips before I actually saw the episode. So with that being said, Keisha has saw the episode early, and what's up, Keisha?
Nothing. What's up with you?
I actually enjoyed the episode. I mean, you told me I would. The reason why I think that some of the storyline got a little bit of more clarity, and it picked up a little bit. But overall, like I said, when we talked to Dwayne was not happy with the episode, and I know that a lot of people, contrary to what they think, I think that the episode and the series is giving us exactly what we should expect. I think that giving some understanding of who Tommy is, Tommy's character, Tommy's role, and having his own series based around him, that you're not going to see the Tommy that we were used to in the regular Power. You were going to see a more character that does a lot more thinking, and you see that he has some vulnerability with the people that he cares about. So I think that shows a little bit of Tommy's character, because Tommy had that in the regular Power, but you see it even more now. He had that with Holly and Lakeisha, but now you see it even more because he's got his nephew, he's got his brother, he's got Liliana, and opposed to everybody else, he actually cares about um Claudia and Vic. But as we've seen
I
in
don't
this
even know what's
episode,
happening.
Tom is the enemy now, Keisha. Everybody's trying to kill him.
Back hard. Yeah, Tommy's always been family oriented though.
So what did
In
you
my
think?
mind,
What did you think about this episode?
I like the episode. I was one of the ones that got to see it early.
Hmm.
Um, I liked the episode. I thought that we needed this episode many, many moons ago. It was this is what I'm expecting out of them. I mean, it was some cheesy moments. I like the Uncle Tom. He said he wasn't gonna call him Uncle, then he called him Uncle Tommy.
Yeah, I thought that was
I thought it was cute. It was cheesy, but it was cute.
yeah, I thought that was nice. I was surprised that JP was so upset with Tommy. Like, why you didn't tell me as soon as you found out? I think that Tommy sees himself in DMAX so much, definitely with being good with numbers, and even he referenced the ghost again. With I knew somebody that was like that, good with numbers and stuff. But I think that Tommy sees so much of himself. I think that Tommy needs to explain to JP a little bit more about why he just don't want Kate coming in his world, crashing on his party. And I was expecting, because of the way episode 8 ended, that Kate would pop up in episode 9, and I was kind of disappointed in that. And then that she changed the number. I think that the writers of the show, they're missing out on a storyline that I think that could be really really good with bringing Kate into Chicago, give us some clarity on why she left JP.
I don't know. I didn't like that they had Kate change the number. I felt like Kate was supposed to be on her way to Chicago. I understood why JP is mad. She starts spurting.
Keisha, you got a lot going on back there, girl. Yeah, I
I
agree too.
understood why he was mad. I didn't understand why Tommy was so mad that he called Kate. I didn't
Yeah,
understand
I
that.
I think that he should have at least provided some clarity to JP about Kate. I think that, like I said, I think that they're missing a major part of the story of why. I think that also going back to Walter Flynn, why is he so upset with Tommy? Like, yo, why are they what? And this is the thing that Dwayne said that I find was interesting. And like, Tommy ain't been in Chicago but so long. You mean to tell me he's got all these enemies? Everybody want to kill him. Jannard, I could understand Jannard feeling like left out. His brother been gone for all that time, and here it is. Tommy, he giving
Jannard is
Tommy a
a
bunch
punk.
of attention. I mean, it's an interesting role of jealousy and why he wants what they would consider, power, and why they always try to use that as a backdrop to the show because everybody wants their own little power. So I thought the Jannard thing was a little authentic. I just think that Walter Flynn not being in control of his kids, like making Tommy the enemy, is weird. So I think
I
that,
think
excuse me,
he's making Tommy the enemy because his kids really they gravitated towards Tommy, probably more so than they gravitated towards him.
yeah. Did you find it interesting? I know that one little scene where JP and his father was there. I thought that his father was gonna say something about Kate. It's interesting how the father really hasn't said. He said
He
Kate ain't
did
worth the
sort of
damn.
kind of like it he made reference to she might not be all bad or something to that
Yeah,
extent.
and that's interesting because everybody speaks so highly of Miriam and the mother, and like I said, me, you, and Dwayne, we have our theory about who Kate could be related to. As far as maybe she's a Flynn, or maybe she just got ran out to town, and it's like that's so much a big part of the story that could be very interesting. I just think that they're missing out on that part. How do you feel about Liliana, Keisha?
I like Liliana. I wonder if they're gonna make them like a couple, because it's obvious that they care about each other, and I like that dynamic.
Yeah, I thought that was real interesting. One of the things that I got upset about in the episode was just daggone Claudia always following Tommy. Like that's just weird. Like she's always following. Like her suspicion really is wrong, and now she's gonna look stupid, I guess,
I
because
don't
now they.
think I think she was feeling a way about Tommy taking over the whole time.
Yeah, it's like he really is has dealt with Vic and Claudia in a way like, yo, I'm trying to look out for y'all. And it's like y'all don't even see it because y'all so busy, got so much ambition and power driven that y'all caught up with what y'all got going on. And it's crazy that they're like that. That she even followed him. Like, why is she going to the Serbs? So say if Tommy wouldn't have been out there and came out of the place with the Serbs, what was she going there for? They basically, from what she understand, had tried to kill her brother.
And she should have been scared because her father just went in there and shot up the place. She shouldn't have been
Yeah.
nowhere in that part of town.
Exactly. It's just odd, and if like you said, that part of town, Keisha, one of the things about the dynamic of having the tribalism in these big cities is that it don't just be a spot where you can't go to. It be that whole area of town where you just ain't going over there. Like you in the wrong part of town, you better stay on your side of town and be there. And even when Tommy had the map at his place, the old fireplace, he even mapped it out like, yo, you can't go here. You got to go here. This side of town is owned by CBI. Like, so I thought that was real interesting. I just think that
I like
that
how they got Tommy trying to learn. Um, I I agree that I just think that it was too slow. They needed to speed it up. But I wonder how it's going to affect them with no more power coming on for I think 6 months, 6 to 8 months.
yeah, according to 50 Cent, it's 6 months. Everything is pushed back, and I think that his music mentality and understanding the street and understanding the culture is upset because he understands that 6 months is a long time. When it does come back, it's going to be going against football on Sunday night. A lot of people watch it early, like you and myself and Dwayne, but still, like you got 6 months of no power universe, and staying in the minds of the people and all the fans that's used to the way that 50 wanted to do it, have a power on every 10 weeks, a different show. And now it ain't gonna be nothing on for 6 months. So I think that him being upset is valid, and why he's so upset. So you really have to have a major comeback. Whatever show comes back first, and I think it might be Raising Canaan. Whatever Raising Canaan has to come back with like a serious bang.
I think he already done lost a lot of people with this show.
Yeah, what do you think that's at? I mean, I think that a lot of and you still see it like at the end of the day, most people still want Amari Hardwick back in Power Universe. I was one of them people that really wanted him back. I thought that they killed him off the series a little too soon. Or period because he had a good draw. I think that the ghost character was good for everybody. I think that he was the type of person, and everybody has their opinion about what they would say is a snitch and a teller, but he was somebody that a lot of people he embodied what people thought was the street culture. So people saw themselves in ghosts and was like, maybe if I was in the streets and I was trying to get out and I was kept getting pulled back in. Maybe I think a lot of people projected themselves within him and have that. As you always say, he always had a dilemma going on, whether it was with Tasha and Angela, whether it was with Tommy the streets and wanting to be the nightclub owner. He always had that moral stuff going on in his head.
I mean, I I'm okay with Ghost being gone or whatever, but they do have to build all these other shows and build all these new characters up. Um, some of the characters and forces like Useless, Gloria, they could have killed Gloria day two. Um, what's with Paulie and his son? Like they never go back to it. So I
The
mean,
cop Seamus, like why?
yeah.
Like what's the
And
purpose
why
of?
does he look like that?
Yeah, you got a cop getting shook down by another cop. He runs down on Diamond. He got Diamond with the safe open. Listen, if you're gonna rob somebody, don't take what you want. Take everything. He asked for 100,000. Diamond gives him 150,000. Like he gives it to him. He didn't even attempt to fight him off. Brett said, "I think the show started hot, cool to develop a story. This was the first episode where I think everything took a step back. Though story, acting, pacing, etc." It's interesting you said that, Brett, because Dwayne said the same thing. Dwayne loved it in the first couple episodes, and he was really upset that it basically died off towards the end. And Dwayne, even though he had a prior obligation tonight, Dwayne is kind of like done with this. Like, and it's usually for those that don't know and don't follow our review shows, is that the last two seasons we kind of been fighting with the shy when we do our shy reviews, and we all kind of like during season three because we started the shy season two, but when we did season three, it was like okay, all right, we fighting it. Then season four, we fought through it, and this is kind of like really dragging our feet with trying to be objective and really people that like the show and like what we do, but we ain't gonna sit for the sake of a show and sake for what we're doing, sit here and cape and be sitting here talking about oh it was good, it had all this drama. We're not the type of people that's gonna do that. We critique the show and we're gonna be honest and we're gonna be open about it. And we really don't have a bunch of pre-production conversation, so our opinions is really like solely our opinions on the show. So you know me and Keisha kind of expected what we see with the character development and what's going on. I think that like I told Keisha, like they really set it up where Diamond could get killed and you won't miss him. You see that Tommy went to him and asked for help and he's like, no, I'm done with the streets. And I get it.
He didn't say he was done with the streets. He said he wasn't doing nothing to go back to jail. I mean, the brother
Yeah,
just came home. You got to give him a minute.
he done got Keisha. He done got some pie now, so now he thinking about that freedom for real. He should have thought about that before the first shootout when he first went at the Serbs. Like, so it's interesting because now you see that Diamond has somebody that's interested in him, and he's probably interested in her. And I think that me personally, I think that his character development could be, talk about who he was before. We just know that he had a bad package and the cop's sister got messed up. But, if he was the man of CBI, explain that a little more. Talk about like, do we have kids? Did he was he married? What was what was he into? I think that they're missing the boat on that. I think that one of the things with Power is they pile a lot of storylines in an episode. They kind of like be all over the place. I think that like even Tommy going to the Serbs. Tommy goes to Milkovich, and how one of Milkovich's men killed Gloria, and Milkovich act like he don't know that the Flynn's gonna want to get at him. I just find that strange that Tommy went there, said, "Yo, somebody's coming for you." Milkovich act like he didn't know, and then he was like not surprised. Like if his man killed Gloria and Vic was around, he's gonna know everything that his crew do. Definitely, if he pointed him out, and then Tommy shot his head off in the store, which I thought was crazy because blood all over the door. Like, oh wait, I'll be back with your money. So, what you think about that part, Keisha?
Classic Tommy.
I know in the previews he said my phrase that he loved to say, cancel Christmas. So I thought that was interesting that he finally is able to say the phrase that he said. Tyrone, I knew you was coming, Tyrone.
Tyrone hates it.
Tyrone said it's terrible. Aunt Malik said, I just want to say, cue it up. Love you too, bro. Don't mean to go off topic, but about the show, it took 2 episodes and I was done with white boy doing too much, but ain't gonna do shit. But big up to you, what you doing, my guy. Hey man, Aunt, appreciate the support, bro. Just doing what we
I
do, man.
mean, that's kind of true what he's saying.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, the thing is that like Anthony said, is like, you see Tommy, yeah, we know that there's a lot of white people that's in the culture and have their way around the street. But for Tommy to be from Brooklyn, because they're all from Brooklyn, their characters, and then go all the way out to Chicago and only have a brother, and to be working himself around CBI and the Flynn gang
But
is
I
kind of.
think we got to understand this show is not for us, it's for Caucasians.
Do you think that's the target audience, is to bring in the a different demographic into the Power universe, Keisha?
Expand on it.
I mean, like Keisha been saying that one of the things with Power Book 4 is because Tommy is white, that in Chicago, for those that don't know, Chicago has a major theater and movie thing, just like New York City. And most of the actors that's in Chicago, that's in Power Book 4 Force, are from Chicago. D-Mac was in the Shy. Keisha was like, yo, that's Jason. And I didn't even realize that was Jason. The hair just looks different. JP, the actor Anthony Fleming, who plays JP, he's originally from Chicago. Him and Joseph Sikora, who plays Tommy, they have some history together in film. I know that Dion Taylor, who's one of the directors behind Power Book 4, everybody that's behind the camera as far
But
as
you
the film
know,
crew.
I think it's made for a different audience. Or to expand, because they watched Power as well, probably not the way that we watched it. But with Tommy in the lead, this is Tommy's show. I think that's what they're going for. Just like the one with Tariq is for the kids, right?
Well, I think Power Book 2 Ghost is speaking for the younger generation, which brings up the Dahlia drug that me and you talked about. Like Dahlia would have been perfect for the Tariq show and that club scene and that party scene. Tyrone brings up the point about he killed all them Serbs and now he working with them. You know what's funny about that, Tyrone, is that after he killed the Serbs and they found Liliana, and then Tommy had to go basically give his life for Liliana's life, and then Jannard shot at them. It was like we didn't see the Serbs for like 3, 4 episodes, and then you just bring them back. Like the Serbs would have wanted to know like who was shooting at us. One thing that they did do right with the writing of the show is link Tommy with the Serbs. The Serbs is the connect. The Serbs got everything Tommy needs. So Tommy aligning himself with what most people would
He
say
have
is,
a relationship with the Serbs though.
yeah, he had the relationship all the way going back to Jason and the girl he killed, but he that was smart on his part. Like, yo, the Flynns must have think I really killed him. Like, yo, I need to, preserve myself and get an army, sort of say. So I just find it interesting that he's going to go to war with the Flynns. Um, and now, like everything that he's been trying to build is done because even if you look at some of the previews that came out, the Dahlia lab is going to be a shooting ground. So it's like, okay, Claudia gave that up where Tommy may be, and now they're going to be going to war. I find that interesting.
I find that dumb on her part.
Of course you do. Of course you do. So, Keisha, we do it every week. We do our ratings. Anybody that's in the chat that's not used to us, what we do is we rate the show 1 through 10. Listen, I mean, no rating is too high, no rating is too low. I gave a 9 point. Keisha, what was that? I gave a 9.5 for one of the episodes in Ghost. That was
I,
the highest rating that I ever gave any
I don't
review.
know.
Yeah. And I probably need to rescind that, but I can't. It's over with. Like I said, we always rate the show, and I'm gonna give this episode honestly a 6. Like I said, I thought this episode was pretty decent. It wasn't, it wasn't bad. It was like I expected what I seen. Uh, Tyrone gave it a 1.24567.
I give it a 7.5.
A 7.5? That's pretty high, Keisha.
For me,
Yeah, that's pretty high for you. You gave it a 7.5. I gave it a 6 because it still has that slowness to it. The all over the place. Like it seems so scripted and predictable that you knew that DMAC was gonna get shot before he got to see who his father was and they could have did that DMAC and JP scene of them knowing who's father and son the day that he was vandalizing the place. He should have been like, Darnell, and then he ran away. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's when he should have noticed his son, and
I,
then he ran away.
I think this kid got to be younger than what we think he is.
Well, my cousin said I stopped watching too slow this season. See, Keisha, people ain't feeling this out. Listen, listen, Joseph, 50. Now Courtney ain't got nothing to do with it. It's Courtney's baby, but she has nothing else to do with the writing. She's not the showrunner anymore for these shows. So, um, you know, but the ratings they got renewed for another season according to Stars. So all I can say is a lot of people that we deal with and people that we know is really disappointed in the show, Keisha.
I'm disappointed too, just because I'm giving their overall average is bad. To me, Raising Canaan came out the gate pretty good. This is not good at all. It's like watching paint dry.
Well, look, you gave it a 7.5. I gave it a 6. Tyrone gave it a 1 point. I'm gonna remember that one. Tyrone, you gave it a 1.24567. Raheem Rebel said, "I'm just happy to see Tommy. So slow or fast, I'll watch it." You know what, Raheem? I'll give you that because if you know anything about the actor Joseph Sikora, is he's been around for a minute, and when the original Power first ended, it was hard for him to find work even before they decided to spin off. When they I think it was season 5. They was in doubt of whether bringing it back, and he was looking for other work, and he couldn't find other work. So, I agree with you there that the Tommy character we like, but I think that this storyline and not really expounding on a bunch of other storylines that's going on, like why? Like Keisha said in the beginning of the show, why even bring Gloria in this? You knew you was gonna kill her. You knew it was gonna give. It just seemed You allow Tommy and Vic to be cool for 4 episodes, and now you want to get her killed off, and it's over. Brett said, "I didn't expect much from Abel. TBH, Tommy is wildly unrealistic character, as likable as he is." I do agree that Tommy may be unrealistic. I kind of know a Tommy. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I was about to say he's not unrealistic at
I
all.
I know a guy that reminds me of Tommy in a way. Like he really wild, and he grew up around a bunch of nuts. So he was worse. He was one of the worst ones, and actually he's still alive now. He's a little bit older than me, and he's still alive, and I seen him about a year and a half ago, and I was like, "Yo, you good?" He's like, "Man, you know me, man. I do what I do, man." So I mean, it is unrealistic. We know that the shootings, the money, come on, like you know, him going to Chicago. But like I said, that was something that I had. I even had a problem with people knowing his whole name, like Tommy Egan. Like he never ever introduced himself as Tommy to anybody. Like that's why I always thought was interesting. But that's me being a little bit picky and looking at the storyline and judging the storyline a little bit too much with an eye, like they supposed to tell us. So Brett, tell us, Brett and Raheem, if you guys are still watching, tell us what you rate this episode. Scale of 1 to 10. We when we do our reading, we talk about character development, whether the storylines are fast, whether they're slow, um, plot. This episode was titled Trust. So I don't know if it hit home for you guys or not. Like I said, I gave it a 6. Keisha gave it a 7. So I don't know. So Keisha, what you looking forward to for episode 10? It looks like they going to war. They got the hitters out. They got the they got the semi-automatic guns. I think might be a NRA promotion show because they definitely got the automatic weapons out.
I'm looking at the family part, the D-Mac and the JP and the Kate. I'm not really interested in all that other stuff because it's going to be over the top.
Raheem said I'll give it a 6 just because I know it's setting up for the grand finale. And episode 10, from what I understand, is going to be a little bit longer than that not little, but a little bit longer than the 53 minutes that they usually do. I think episode 10 is going to be like an hour and 20 minutes, hour 15 minutes, something like that. I had seen some reports about the episode being a little
I
bit
mean,
longer.
yeah, I do think they need to tell us some more about what Kate's deal is to have us wanting to know where's D-Mac's mother
hmm Brett
because
said
it looked like he's living on the streets.
I'm gonna say a 5. I think they're in that power habit of developing a ton of storylines without going anywhere. One of the guys that I follow on TikTok that does a bunch of reviews, he said the same thing. He said that the Power Universe plays the audience for stupid, and they use the same old boring storylines. Like they got to be better with their development. Um, Brett also said they usually save it all for the last 2 episodes, though. And Raheem also said, I don't know if you watched Top Boy or not. Yeah, I actually did watch the first season of Top Boy. Top Boy, what's interesting about Top Boy is Top Boy gets very Top Boy. I remember the first season, and that's when I watched it. And Top Boy is one of them shows on Netflix that's getting more and more famous over here, and it's getting really big. And it's good to see that Top Boy is doing as well as it's doing because I remember when somebody first said something about Top Boy, they was like, I don't want to see that. But I think that for American people, some of the gang activity, when you look at other countries, you don't really understand it. So I think that Top Boy is really good. I wish we did a review on Top Boy, but it's hard to do a review on a show that's on a streaming channel. What I mean is it streams all 10 episodes. So it's hard for us to do a review show. We would have to binge watch it and do a review show the way that we do review shows because we try to do a show a week. Um, My cousin said, "I guess I'll check it out tonight to catch up on these ratings. Y'all scaring me." Raheem said, "I don't know if you watched Top Boy or not, but it's kind of slow, but it was a nice story, and the ending was crazy." My cousin said Top Boy as well. Yeah, Top Boy. Like I said, I seen the first season, and the dynamic of different say yeah different let's say different cultures, and understanding the streets over there is a lot different. I just think that Power really missed out on its authenticity when they decided to shut it down. Like Courtney said that she had a vision for Power, and one thing we got to understand is that yeah, 50 is behind Power, but Courtney is as well. And Courtney, from what I understand, don't come from a culture that a background that a lot of us come from, the background where they know a lot about the streets. A lot of people heard about the streets, so they're telling the streets through their lens. Um, I know that they get a lot of people that advise them, Effie Rivera and the other directors that really explain to them what goes on. Raheem said, "I just hope that 6 months off things isn't true. I think Fifth is just trying to get his way." Raheem, it's interesting about 50 is Stars is owned by Lionsgate. Lionsgate is the company that gave 50 to $100 million contract for the 10 movies when 50 first got into acting. But it seems like 50 and Stars have been having this ongoing beef for the last 4 years. And 50 handles that corporate beef the same way he handles rap beef or his social media beef. And business wise, a lot of people may not handle their business like that. And I think he could be hurting himself. I don't know. I'm just assuming. I think he could be hurting himself by doing that because a lot of these shows, yeah, you may have a high rated show or whatever, but that doesn't mean that they're gonna, as he even says in his hashtag, Greenlight Gang, that don't mean they're gonna greenlight your project. I mean, I think that Keisha, what's the show that he did on ABC?
For life.
For Life was a really good show, but most people watched it from streaming devices and went from like the ABC app. So if you watched For Life from that didn't help their ratings. So the show wound up leaving. ABC wound up dropping the show, and I thought that the show, I thought I watched it, and I know a lot of people talked about it and thought it was really good. It was based off a true story. So I don't know. I hope that 50 and Stars really could work things out. I know that he might have been upset because they renewed Hightown. I'm a person that watch Hightown. Hightown is a really good show. Really good character development. You know, that's one of the biggest things is that in with these shows and knowing people that's in that movie stuff is that we think the shows are good, but the shows have to be able to sell to the sponsors to get green lighted. It's not as easy as as a lot of these people make it seem to be easy. Like, yo, it's a really good show.
And I don't think Power could make it on a streaming like a Netflix or Hulu because it's too
Yeah,
slow.
yeah,
You
and
need the
and,
build up of every week.
and even okay, the producer of Power wants to do a Top Boy crossover, but I don't really see it happening. And even with what I was gonna say about the for example, everybody loved The Wire. I was somebody who loved The Wire from day one. I watched The Wire, and we compare a lot of these shows to The Wire because like The Wire was like the best urban show ever, right? But let's look at The Wire. People hated the second season of The Wire because they felt as though The Wire got away from what they really got away from. But the actuality is season two of The Wire explained about Baltimore in the harbor and what goes on at the port and certain criminal activity that may really be going on. The creator of The Wire, he was a reporter in Baltimore, so he knew what was going on as far as the crime, and he was actually the editor of the newspaper, and that's how he got all the stories. People that don't know The Wire, Brody, who played not the actor Brody, but Avon Barksdale Brody is the same character in real life. his nickname was Brody. So in The Wire, the show, they broke it down and made it two different people, but that was not. It was loosely based off those people. And once you find out about The Wire and everything that happened, is that a lot of those actors, a lot of those characters in real life, didn't get any credit from the actual show. So it was interesting. Even the characters that a lot of the characters that was it was based off of. Raheem said, "Who you think is going to get killed in the finale?" I think Jannard might get shot. Um, I don't see Milkovich getting killed. I don't see Tom. We know Tommy's not going to get killed. I don't even see any of the Flynns getting killed. I think they're going to keep them um, around for a while. Yeah, yeah, Marshall. The Hightown is interesting. Actually, the actor Vic that plays in Power, he was in the first season of Hightown. The actor Shane, I forget his last name. Keisha, who you think is going to get killed in episode 10?
I was just thinking about it. They could kill all them women but Liliana. I'm sick of them all.
Oh, oh, you said take them all out.
Yeah, even the doctor. I'm sick of her too.
What with that, yo? Any final thoughts, Keisha? We gonna wrap the show up.
I hope this is going to be worth this an hour and 20 minutes next week.
I said I heard it might be like an hour and 20. Don't quote me on that, because you'll be hitting me Sunday morning like, why did I just waste an hour of my time, yo? Keisha, they laughing at you. Raheem said the doctor innocent, Keisha. Y'all know Keisha likes violence. Keisha is somebody who likes Tommy, and she don't like these cut to the chase. Like Keisha likes what they did to remember what Tommy did to Sax. That's the type of stuff that Keisha's into. Tie him up to a chair and torture.
Sax shit, I don't even know how he made it.
Brett said, "Hot take: Flynn goes, daughter does him in." Interesting. Interesting. I interesting. That sounds interesting. That's a hot take, Brett, for real. Well, with that, appreciate you guys. Like I said, let us know what you think that we should review. I mean, we're the type, Dwayne, Keisha, and myself. We love to chat. With the chat, it's fun. It's interactive. This is what make our review shows better. So we don't know what we're gonna do after next week. We do movies too, so we kind of like in the dark until we have a conversation. Um, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do. Somebody said the last said, that's what I said. They don't know the daughter is a killer. Yeah, they don't know the daughter is a killer. Tommy then turned into a beast. So remember, with that, thanks for joining us this week. Remember, if you're on YouTube, like, share, subscribe to the channel, and go to the community section or email the email address and tell us what y'all want to review. Like, I don't really. I watch a lot of different stuff, so. And Keisha tell me like, "Yo, watch such and such is really good." I know that Showtime has a series coming out in 2 weeks called "The Man Who Landed on Earth." It looks like it's very interesting. I don't know if we'll do that. We'll figure out something. But with that, appreciate you guys tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good night.
Take care.